Rocky, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you for coming to the show and showing us your stamp collection of Star Trek. Now, how did you get involved with stamp collecting in Star Trek? Have you been a huge Star Trek fan? Tell me, tell me a little bit about you.
Sure, yeah. Um, so I was collecting something for my entire life. My dad was a collector. He usually collected like some sport related things. And as a kid, I thought it was pretty cool. Later on, I didn't have so much time and I kind of stopped. But then I got really into Star Trek, and around 2019, I decided I want to start collecting something again, and I knew this has to be something connected to Star Trek. But the problem here is that I don't have so much free space in my house, so I was looking for something which doesn't need so much space. And after looking for some time on eBay and on internet, I found some Star Trek stamps, and this is basically how it started.
Excellent. Now, how many is Star Trek stamp collecting? That's very, very, you know, a small bit of stamp collecting. How many do they make a year?
Uh, it depends. Not too many. There are some officially licensed ones, so this would be less common. I think the most recent one was issued in 2020 in UK. There are some unofficial, and these are easier to get, and they are issued like every year. Altogether, as far as I know, there is around 700 stamps, Star Trek stamps.
Wow. And how many of those do you have?
I have around 300.
Oh, okay. So you have a bit more to go for collecting the whole essence
Oh, yes.
of Star Trek.
That's my aim. That's my aim. At some point, I want to have them all.
Wow. Now you said that then there's some that are not the unofficial ones. Are those coming from, where would those come from? Are they fan club ones? Or are they, fans making them? Or is there someplace in Greece? Because there's some place in Greece that makes all this fake Charlie's Angel stuff. Where do they usually come from?
So they usually be from from Africa, from some countries in Africa, and I'm not an expert enough to tell you exactly who's printing them and where are they coming from. I know for sure that they are not licensed by CBS, or Paramount, and they are mostly, aimed for collectors. As far as I know, you can't really buy them on local post office. They mostly just, you can purchase them online.
Nice. So, um, well, let's look. How long have you been collecting?
So it was around 3 years now, more or less.
Wow. So you're a new collector, and wow, what, 300 plus. You're right there. You're doing 100 a year. We're talking what? How many more years? You'll be hopefully up to all of them.
Yeah, 4 more years. Yeah.
I love it. Um, so let's see. What was my other questions? Where do you find where they're coming out? Is there a list that you have that, of the official stuff or unofficial stuff, or is there someplace that that you go to find out what's coming out on stamps?
Uh, that's a good question. It's not easy to find. This was one of the main reasons why I created my website, because when I was looking for resources, I couldn't find anything. So I had no clue where to look for these stamps, how many there are. Eventually, I managed to connect with some other collectors, and they sent me what they have. So we kind of shared information. At the moment, I have a PDF file with everything that could be found on the internet. So this is where I got this number of 700 from. If anything is officially issued for, from like proper post offices, Star Trek fans would know about it. It will be everything on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. So you can't really miss it.
Nice. Now, what country makes the most stamps for official stamps on Star Trek?
It would be UK or Canada.
Wow.
I think both of them would be very close.
Now, those stamps are actually stamps you can use to mail stuff in the mail.
Yes, and this you can just use on the envelope and send, and they are official. They are just like real stamps.
That's fantastic. Because you think a collectible, you don't want to use it. So do you buy the sheets, or how do you do you have individual ones, or do you just buy the sheets and have them mint? And how is the stamp collecting for you?
So mostly you would have like extended backgrounds. Like I have an example here. So this is how it would look like. So you have lots of stamps on one massive sheet, and you wouldn't really want to use them on envelope. You would just buy a normal stamp. I have some singles as well, but not many, to be honest.
Fantastic. Yeah, because I have a couple of the Star Wars US stamps, and they usually the day they come in a package and they have stamped on it and that kind of stuff. Do you have those issues too?
I have some of them, not too many. This is like a separate topic for separate collectors. But yes, I have them. When I found some which I really like, I sometimes get them, but this is not like just a separate branch for me.
All right, so you just showed one of the stamps. Let's look at some of the stamps, and I want to see them.
Sure. Absolutely, yeah. Just give me 1 second. I swap my camera. Okay, so here we go. Here we have some single ones from the USA, Canada, and so on. And then most of them would be on sheets like this.
So how do you which one's from what country? Like that one, where's that from?
So this one is from Canada. If you would look closely on the stamp, you can see
it says
Canada first. So this would be from Canada as well. We have famous captains here.
With Canada, how many do they release them every year, or how do they decide what they release?
It's usually just a one-off. So they released some for like 30 years of Star Trek, for 50 years of Star Trek, or maybe they have like some movies-related topics. But there's no rule really. It's whenever fans got lucky, they can get some new stamps, but it's not very often.
So, and it looks like they go to not just Star Trek, it's Voyager and all the other ones. Which one have they made the most on?
Oh, this would be definitely the original series. So, Kirk, Spock, and so on. I think most people would, recognize this Star Trek. And I have quite a lot of them in the collection.
Can we go back to the Christmas one?
Back to which one?
The Christmas one.
The Christmas one, yes, of course. This is a good one.
I saw that. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's unusual Christmassy stamp. So it's Klingon Christmas.
And who is pictured in the picture as Santa?
That's a Klingon Santa.
Oh, well, there you go. And where was that from? What country?
That's Antigua and Barbuda, so like a small island country.
So that would probably be an unofficial one, you would think?
This one was actually official. More of African ones would be unofficial. So what we see here, these are from Madagascar. Most of stamps from Chad would be unofficial. But yeah, at the moment, I think there are some stamps for every series. So we have Voyager, Deep Space Nine. Here we can see Discovery, Picard, even Lower Decks. So the new shows as well. More from Picard. So one of the most recent ones. Here and
it's fascinating. They kind of look like trading cards.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So this would be
that's from the movie.
Based on the movies, yeah. And everything we see here for the last 3-4 pages, this would be classed as unofficial. They are mostly from Chad, but you know, they are still nice collectible items. A bit more.
These are fantastic. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so some of them are really well designed.
Oh, I love the last one. We miss her.
Yeah, it's a great stamp, great actress. So this one was released to celebrate 50 years of Star Trek, and there are quite a few of them. It was a good year for collectors.
So how much does one of these stamps go for? Or how much did you pay for them?
They are not too expensive. I usually buy them on eBay, and they cost like anything from £1 to like £10, which is kind of okay. Here we go. Have a nice example of a famous woman of Star Trek. And a bit more.
And what do you have them in? It looks like, is that a picture book, or is that an actual thing for stamps itself?
Sorry, say this again.
Oh, the book that you have your stamps in, is it made for stamps, or is it a picture book, or what do you have?
It is, yes, it is made for stamps, so it's just like a standard stamps album where you just where you just put stamps into it, and they are safe and secure. Right. So this was the main collection. I have some other, but don't want to spend too much time going through them. These are the main ones.
Well, they're fantastic. What is your favorite one, and what's your favorite show on Star Trek?
That's a good question. I love them all. Probably Next Generation or Deep Space Nine. Although the new Strange New Worlds is really, really good. I really enjoy it.
Who's your favorite character?
There are just too many. I can't name one.
Okay, I have a stamp and I'm ripping it up. What's your favorite character?
I don't know. It's just too many. I always love Picard. It's kind of classic, but there are just too many great characters to name one.
Nice. What was the hardest one for you to get? The hardest stamp?
These are ones which I don't have yet.
Oh, okay.
They are not very hard to get. Most of them you can just buy online. So depending how much money you want to spend, you can get them. Unfortunately, there are not too many people who collect Star Trek stamps, so it's not so easy to meet somebody in person and just trade, although it happens every now and again. There are some interesting ones which are kind of gold. I have an example here. So these were from limited series, and this stamp are actually made from 23 or 24 karat gold. So they look nice.
Were those officially made or those unofficial?
Yeah, these are official stamps. Yeah.
Wow, those are nice. Those are nice.
Yes.
Is that your favorite one? Your favorite group?
My favorite one. My favorite one would probably be this gold one. It's like in this nice presentation pack as well. I really like that UK ones, which I showed before. I have this big sheet from Australia, which is also very well presented.
Oh, those are nice size. You can actually frame them and put them on the wall.
Yes, yeah, you could, yeah.
Because the artwork with the stamps is as nice as the stamps itself. That's the nice thing. That's even nicer sometimes. It looks.
Absolutely, yes. Some of these extended backgrounds, they are just masterpieces.
So how many stamps do you buy a month? Do you have a budget?
I can't really tell. My wife may be listening to this. No, it's kind of this kind of hobby where you spend as much or as little as you want. So some months I buy more, some months I don't buy anything. It depends. If I find something interesting and it's after payday, then I may get some new ones. But sometimes it's just not the top priority, so I just don't buy them.
Do you mostly put your stuff on eBay?
Mostly on eBay, yes.
Okay, so you're like, oh, I want that, but it doesn't sound like there's a lot of people collecting stamps, so there's really not a bidding war. Do you find yourself in a bidding war on those, or?
No, not really. No, after a while, you kind of know what the right price look like. So if you see something which is like 10 times more than normally, you wouldn't probably bother. And on the other hand, if you see something which you're hunting for a while, and now it's like 5 times cheaper, and yeah, I get it.
What do you think your whole collection's worth in a dollar amount?
I reckon it would be like somewhere in the range of maybe $700 at the moment.
All right, that's not a bad collection, and that's not I mean, if I could say that was about my collection, I would be like, it's a lot more than that I've spent. But it's great because you can just tell your wife that I'm buying stamps today. I already think she knows what you're buying. You're not buying just stamps to send your bills out. I send 2 bills out, I think, with a stamp anymore. That's it. I don't even think I do. It's all online.
Yeah, it's a great collection. It doesn't take much space. The only thing you need is just this book, and your entire collection is here. And some stamps are just like $2.
That's fantastic. So what's behind you? I see. Is that a Star Trek, one of the ships behind you?
Oh yes, that's Enterprise from the original series. This is just like a model kit.
And the picture, is that you with one of the cast, or is that?
Yes, the picture is me and Emily Coates, who played Detmer in Star Trek Discovery.
Fantastic. Let me get myself off the thing. Have you been to a lot of conventions?
Not a lot. I've been to some. The most recent one was in London. But yeah, I go there when I can, when it's convenient. But I wouldn't say I was in too many, like maybe 4 or 5.
What is the weirdest stamp you have collected?
So this would be weird for Star Trek fans. May look perfectly normal for everyone else. But there is one where we have stamps of the original series and so on. But on the background, there is a starship from a completely different series, which doesn't really make any sense. So this is the weird one, and this one is definitely not official stamp. I think it was designed by somebody who didn't quite know, what's going on. So yeah, that's the weird one for Trekkies, possibly not so weird for anyone else.
Of course. Well, that's true. Do you have a wacky story about collecting a stamp? Did you go someplace on an adventure out in the deep space to get one?
I have one story, yes. So it was on one of the convents where I found a seller who actually had some Star Trek stamp, which I didn't really expect. And they were pretty nice. I wanted to buy them. They were from some exotic country. I don't quite remember which one. And stamps were in dollars, so they were like $100 each. Not US dollars, just dollars from that country. And seller was trying to sell me them for make a really good deal and send me like 3 or 4 stamps for just $100, which in fact they were just worth like maybe 2 or 3 US dollars. So this was the story. Like the currency, even though dollars was like not US dollars, it was I think Guyana or something like this. So there were $1 was actually like maybe 1 cent.
So, and you said that was a convent?
It was, yes, yeah.
Well, convents need stamps too, I'm sure, at the time.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So, do you know are there any official stamps coming out in the near future?
Yeah, no, not that I know about. There are some already, but I'm not aware of any new releases yet.
Fantastic. Tell me a little bit about your website, about your stamp collecting, and what are you looking for stamps? If maybe someone out there has something.
Yeah, so the website, I created it mostly because I couldn't find any resources. So I thought that, okay, I have some stamps now. Perhaps this would be useful for other people who are just starting or, want to find Star Trek stamps all in one place. And this was the reason why I created it. I only put pictures or scans of stamps which I physically have. So it's not like all 700 that exist. These are only stamps which I physically have in my collection.
And what stamps are you looking for? What's your big one that you're looking for?
Yes, so I'm looking for a Borg cube from Canada. This is the one which I'm trying to obtain for quite some time now.
Well, good. And what was it called again?
It's a Borg cube. So if you, yeah, it's a really nice stamp. I'll get it eventually.
So if anybody out there has it for you, where can they reach out to you?
Yeah, so you can find my website. It's StarTrekStamps.com. I'm also on Twitter at StarTrekStamps and Instagram at StarTrekStamps. And like, if anyone want to ask me any questions or swap stamps or whatever, I'm always available.
And you look great in your outfit too.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for. Do you have any more that we haven't seen yet?
No, I think these are the main ones.
All right, perfect. Well, Rocky, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Your stamp collection is amazing. I wish mine was so compact, my collection. It's crazy.
Thank you so much.
And they're beautiful. I think they're all like a piece of art.
I agree. Thank you, Mike. It was great to be here. It was great to chat with you.
Thank you so much
for inviting me.
I guess I'll do. Can we do this?
Yeah, live long and prosper.
Long and prosper, and get all the stamps you need. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show today, or whenever you're watching it. If you have a collection, I would love to chat with you. Find your collection and look at your collections. I love collecting, and you love collecting, so let's talk about collecting. Rocky, no one writes that script. I just make that up as I go. So it does sound, it's as sad as bad as it did. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Rocky, again, thank you so much for sharing your collection. It is stamp beautiful. I just made that up too. Bye.